Okay, day 61 of trying to become a SOC analyst. We're on LetsDefend, and we've got this high severity alert ticket, suspicious URL detected. So let's have a look at it. Okay, it's from a security analyst on the endpoint Chan prod. We've got destination address threatpost.com. And the reason it was flagged was there's this URL, malformed URL prefix phishing attack spike. Device action was allowed. Alright, so let's jump into it and have a look. I was just umming for a second there because it looks like one of those tickets where it's going to be a false positive because the security analyst is looking at a domain, like a post about phishing attacks, but let's actually investigate it and see if that assumption is correct. So we've got the source address. Let's have a look on the endpoint. I don't have, I'll open up endpoint. Chan prod. So we have a VM running. We've got Chrome installer, okay. Network tech, no. Activity, no. Okay, so there's not much information to find on the endpoint. So let's look at the logs instead. I had logs open. Let's see what activity is coming from the endpoint. Is that from my old? That address looks like the ticket I just investigated. That's that. Oh, it hasn't refreshed. Or it hasn't found anything. Okay, that's better. So we've only got one log, which was the destination address. From Chrome, it was allowed, it was a GET request. So I have an AnyRun open from a previous case. Let's do a new alert. They've got this new safe browsing feature. Let's see what comes up when we try to browse to the site. In fact, that can run while we do a quick scan in VirusTotal. Nothing coming up there. Back to our AnyRun. Let's see. Semi-loading. Malformed phishing attack spike 6,000%. Sneaky attackers are flipping backslashes. So it does just look like an article. We've got no tag of it being malicious. So I think my initial assumption was correct. Let's create a case. I'm willing to say that it was a false positive. We saw in the logs there was only the one log to that address. We've looked at the URL in VirusTotal, it's coming up as clean. We went safe browsing to it, and it does look like just a legitimate post. And so I'm going to say not malicious. That was the URL. Next. Alright, I'll pause the video, I'll write notes, which will be pretty much false positive, but we may as well write a little bit of detail. Hang on. Okay, so we've written up some notes for the alert. Mapped it to application layer protocol, web protocols. Who, user Chang on host Chang prod, accessed an external website using the Chrome browser. What alert SOC 102 was triggered when the user accessed the URL threatpost.com via a GET request. Investigation shows the request originated from chrome.exe, indicating normal user initiated browsing activity. Analysis of the URL in a sandbox environment confirmed the threatpost.com is a legitimate cybersecurity news website discussing phishing trends, when, the timestamp, the where, the source hostname, chanprod, source IP, the 172 address, the destination IP with 35.IP we saw in the logs, the destination hostname was the threadpost.com. The alert was triggered due to the URL containing the keywords phishing, which caused the proxy detection rule to flag it as suspicious. Further investigation showed the result was a legitimate user browsing event. HTTP logs confirmed only a single connection to the website. Sandbox analysis indicated the site is a trusted cybersecurity news source, and no malicious process or suspicious activity were observed on the endpoint. The activity is classified as false positive. So next. Oh, well, that's awkward. Hang on a second. Okay, sorry about that. It logged me out. So we completed the playbook. We will close the alert. It was a false positive, we hope. And let's see if we're right. Okay, so yes, false positive, and we analysed that URL was not malicious. So that was an interesting one, just because when I first looked at the ticket, I think you pretty much nearly instantly knew that it was going to be a false positive, just because they flagged, phishing in the URL. But anyway, it was good to investigate it. We went to the URL in a sandbox to make sure it was safe. We confirmed on the logs aren't there anymore, but we confirmed on the logs that there were no other activities. Alright, so that's what we've figured out on day 61. I'll see you on day 62 of becoming a SOC analyst. Thank you.